Every morning is a doorway, a threshold between who you were yesterday and who you are capable of becoming today. When you rise, the world may still be silent, but inside you, a powerful conversation must begin. The way you speak to yourself in those first moments is not small. It shapes your energy, your clarity, and the path your feet walk for the rest of the day. So when you wake up, breathe deeply. Feel your chest rise, feel the stillness, and remind yourself of these 5 powerful truths. Repeat them not as empty affirmations, but as commitments, disciplines of the mind, anchors of the spirit. Every morning, before the world begins to demand your attention, before messages, responsibilities, and noise begin to pull you in a dozen directions, you must speak one truth to yourself: I am responsible for my life. This single sentence may seem simple, but it carries a weight that can reshape the direction of your entire existence. Responsibility is not a burden. Responsibility is liberation. The moment you understand that your life is not controlled by luck, by other people, or by the events that unfold around you, you begin to reclaim a power that many spend their whole lives giving away. When you take responsibility, you stop living in reaction and start living in creation. You stop waiting for someone to save you, rescue you, or hand you an opportunity. You realize that the quality of your life is shaped by the quality of your decisions, your discipline, your habits, and the thoughts you choose to feed. Every single morning, you stop blaming circumstances because you understand that circumstances don't define you. Your responses do. Every challenge becomes a training ground. Every failure becomes feedback. Every delay becomes a lesson. And instead of seeing yourself as a victim of life, you begin to see yourself as the author of it. Responsibility is not about blaming yourself for everything that happens. It is about empowering yourself to decide what happens next. When your mindset shifts from "why is this happening to me?" to "what can I do with this?" you step into a mental space where excuses no longer survive. The world can take many things from you: time, money, opportunities. But it cannot take your ability to choose how you think, how you act, and how you show up. That is the part of you that remains untouched, unbroken, and entirely yours. Each morning, remind yourself of this inner power. Remind yourself that your life will not change because of hope alone. It will change because of conscious action, repeated with consistency. Responsibility also means maturity. It means recognizing that no one is coming to fix your problems. No one is coming to build your confidence. No one is coming to discipline your mind. These are inner tasks that only you can perform. And when you do, everything outside of you begins to shift. Your relationships change because you no longer tolerate what weakens you. Your choices change because you choose growth over comfort. Your environment changes because you align yourself with people and situations that strengthen your purpose instead of distracting you from it. Every morning when you rise, tell yourself, my life is my responsibility. Not because it is easy, but because it gives you freedom. Freedom to begin again. Freedom to build. Freedom to grow. Freedom to evolve into the person you were meant to be. This single decision to take responsibility becomes the foundation of inner strength. It transforms you from someone who waits to someone who acts, from someone who doubts to someone who believes, from someone who survives to someone who leads their own life with clarity and discipline. Every morning, when you open your eyes and feel that first breath, you must remind yourself, I will act with clarity and purpose today. Without purpose, even the simplest day becomes heavy. Without clarity, your mind becomes a battlefield of thoughts, pulling you in opposing directions. But when you wake up with intention, when you decide your direction before the world decides it for you, you step into a different level of strength, one that few people ever activate. Clarity is not something that appears by accident. It is something you choose deliberately every single morning. It is the mental decision to remove unnecessary noise, to silence the doubts, and to focus your mind on what truly matters. Most people wake up and immediately fall into distraction, scrolling, comparing, reacting. They allow the world to decide their emotional temperature for the day. But a disciplined mind does the opposite. A disciplined mind asks, what is my purpose today? What deserves my energy? What must I focus on to move closer to the life I want? This is where clarity is born. To act with purpose means to move with intention. It means refusing to drift. It means choosing actions that pull you forward instead of sideways. When you speak to someone, you speak with purpose. When you work with purpose. When you rest with purpose. Every action becomes a conscious decision of an autopilot reaction, and this transforms your day from chaotic to meaningful. Purpose also needs discipline, because every day, distractions will arrive disguised as urgency. Doubts will whisper. Emotions will try to pull you off your path, but when you have clarity, you recognize what is important and what is simply noise. You understand that not everything requires your response. Not everything deserves your energy. Not every thought is worth believing. Purpose gives you the power to choose your path, instead of following the path of least resistance. Each morning, when you tell yourself you will act with clarity and purpose, you are training your mind to rise above confusion. You are teaching yourself to look beyond momentary impulses and focus on long-term truth. You begin to ask deeper questions. Does this align with the person I am becoming? Does this strengthen my spirit? Does this bring me closer to my goals or pull me away from them? When these questions guide your actions, your life begins to take shape in ways that are intentional, grounded, and powerful. Purpose gives your day direction. Clarity gives your mind peace. Together, they free you from the feeling of being lost, overwhelmed, or uncertain. They help you move with steadiness instead of rushing blindly. They help you conserve your energy for what truly matters. And they help you build a life that reflects your inner truth, not your temporary emotions. So each morning, before the noise of the day rises, look within and commit. Today, I will act with clarity. Today, I will act with purpose. Today, my energy will go toward what truly matters. When this becomes your daily practice, confusion fades, distractions weaken, and your path becomes unmistakably clear. This is how powerful days begin, by choosing direction over drift and purpose over chaos. Every morning, before you step into the world, remind yourself, I will not be controlled by my emotions. This is not a rejection of feelings. It is mastery over them. Emotions are natural: joy, anger, fear, excitement, doubt. They rise and fall like the changing weather. But your strength lies in remembering that you are not the weather. You are the sky that holds it. When you forget this, you become reactive, unstable, and easily shaken. But when you remember it, you move through life with calmness, precision, and power. To not be controlled by your emotions means to observe them instead of becoming them. When anger rises, you feel it, but you do not let it dictate your words. When fear appears, you acknowledge it, but you do not let it paralyze your actions. When sadness visits, you allow it space, but you do not let it define your identity. You become a witness, not a prisoner. Most people wake up every morning and immediately surrender to whatever emotion comes first. If they feel tired, they become unmotivated. If they feel insecure, they stop trying. If they feel irritated, they treat others with impatience. Their entire day becomes a chain reaction of emotion-driven decisions. But a person who practices inner discipline knows that feelings are temporary, but choices have lasting consequences. You cannot control every emotion, but you can control what you do with it. That is true strength. That is true freedom. Imagine your emotions as visitors knocking on your door. Some are pleasant, some are uncomfortable, some are loud, some are quiet. But you decide who stays. You decide who influences your decisions. You decide who enters your mind and who is allowed to leave. This simple shift gives you authority over your internal world. To master your emotions, you must first become aware of them. Awareness is the first step toward control. When something triggers you, pause, breathe. Ask yourself, is this emotion guiding me or misleading me? Is it protecting me or distracting me? Is it temporary or does it reveal something deeper? This pause creates space. And in that space, wisdom enters. True discipline is not found in physical strength alone. It is found in the ability to remain centered while your emotions try to pull you in every direction. Some days you will wake up full of energy. Other days you will wake up heavy. But your commitment must remain the same. I will choose my actions, not my emotions. This is the mindset that allows you to stay focused, steady, and grounded when life becomes intense. This does not mean suppressing your emotions. Suppression creates pressure. Suppression leads to resentment, exhaustion, or emotional explosions. Mastery is different. Mastery is understanding. It is the ability to feel without drowning, to care without losing yourself, to experience emotions without being controlled by them. When you begin your morning with this intention, your entire day shifts. You respond instead of react. You reflect instead of explode. You move with calmness instead of chaos. You become someone who is not easily shaken, not easily manipulated, not easily provoked. This inner stability is rare and it is powerful. So each morning, remind yourself with strength and softness. Emotions are visitors, not rulers. I honor them, but I do not obey them. This simple commitment becomes a foundation for a disciplined life, a peaceful mind, and a strong spirit. Every morning, before you step into the rhythm of your day, remind yourself, I am grateful for this moment, and I will honor it. Gratitude is more than a habit. It is a way of seeing the world. It shifts your perspective from what is missing to what is already present. It brings your attention away from what you fear and back to what you have. Gratitude is quiet, gentle, and grounding, yet it has the power to transform the entire direction of your day. Most people wake up and immediately think about problems, responsibilities, or the pressures waiting for them. Their first thoughts are filled with anxiety, comparison, or frustration. But gratitude disarms all of that. It interrupts the cycle of negativity before it gains momentum. When you begin your day with appreciation, you create a foundation of peace and clarity. No matter what challenges lie ahead, to be grateful for the moment does not mean your life is perfect. It means you recognize the gift of simply being alive. You acknowledge the breath entering your lungs. You acknowledge the strength in your body, the awareness in your mind, the opportunities waiting for you. Gratitude allows you to see even the smallest things. Light breaking through your window, warmth in your room, the ability to stand up, walk, speak, or think. None of these are small. They are privileges many people do not have. Honoring the moment means you do not rush past the present in search of something else. You do not let your mind wander into regret about yesterday or fear about tomorrow. You choose to be here. You choose to be present. When your mind is grounded in the present moment, you act with clarity instead of haste, with intention instead of confusion. Gratitude also strengthens your emotional resilience. It becomes easier to handle challenges when you have trained your mind to notice what is working rather than what is failing. A grateful mind does not deny difficulty. It simply refuses to let difficulty define the entire picture. When you focus on what is good, your ability to handle what is hard increases. Every morning, take a breath and say to yourself, "Thank you. Thank you for this day, this chance, this moment." Even if you are facing problems, even if life is not where you want it to be, gratitude reminds you that you still have the ability to change, grow, and begin again. Many people wait for their lives to improve before feeling grateful, but life improves because you choose gratitude first. Honoring the moment also means honoring yourself. It means treating your morning with care, moving slowly, thinking clearly, and beginning your day with intention rather than chaos. It means not wasting your time on negative thoughts, unnecessary comparisons, or self-criticism. When you honor the moment, you honor your energy, you protect it. And when gratitude becomes your morning ritual, your life begins to shift. You start to notice opportunities instead of obstacles. You start to appreciate people instead of resenting them. You start to understand that life is not measured by what you have, but by how deeply you feel what you have. So as your day begins, remind yourself softly but firmly, "I am grateful for this moment, and I will honor it." Let this be the mindset that opens your morning, strengthens your spirit, and guides your entire day. Every morning, the final truth you must speak to yourself is this: "I am becoming stronger every day." Strength is not something that arrives suddenly or dramatically. It is something that grows quietly, consistently, through small choices, through disciplined actions, through the courage to rise each time you fall. When you remind yourself of this truth at the start of your day, you shift your mindset from limitation to growth, from stagnation to evolution. Strength is not only physical, it is emotional, mental, and spiritual. It lives in the way you handle challenges, in the way you recover from disappointment, in the way you stay committed to your purpose, even when motivation fades. Every struggle you face is shaping you. Every setback is teaching you. Every difficult moment is building a version of you that is more grounded, more focused, and more resilient. When you tell yourself each morning that you are growing stronger, you train your mind to look for progress, not perfection. Most people measure their strength only by big achievements. But real strength is built in the small, unnoticed moments, choosing discipline over laziness, choosing patience over anger, choosing honesty over comfort, choosing progress over excuses. These are the moments that define you. These are the moments that separate who you were from who you are becoming. Becoming stronger every day also means understanding that growth is not always visible. Sometimes you don't see immediate results. Sometimes you feel stuck or slow. But growth does not always show itself in obvious ways. Sometimes it shows itself in a calmer mind, in a wiser decision, in a less reactive response, in the ability to walk away from what once controlled you. Inner strength is subtle, but it is powerful. Each morning, remind yourself that every effort you make matters. Even the smallest step forward is still progress. Even the smallest act of discipline is still strengthening your character. Trust the process, even when it feels slow. Trust your journey, even when it feels uncertain. Strength is built through consistency, not intensity. When you wake up and declare that you are becoming stronger, you prepare your mind to face the day with confidence instead of fear. Challenges no longer intimidate you. Obstacles no longer defeat you. Instead, you begin to see them as part of your training. Opportunities to become sharper, wiser, and more determined. This mindset also protects you from self-doubt. Because when you believe you are getting stronger, you stop comparing your progress to others. You stop tearing yourself down. You stop assuming that your past defines your future. You understand that every day is a fresh chance to grow. Strength is not about being perfect. It is about being persistent. It is about rising after you fall. It is about refusing to allow your circumstances to limit you. When you start each morning with the belief that you are becoming stronger, you transform your entire outlook. You stop waiting for confidence to appear. You build it. You stop waiting for the right moment. You create it. You stop seeing yourself as weak. You recognize the warrior within you. So declare it each morning with conviction. I am becoming stronger every day. Let this truth guide your actions, shape your mindset, and carry you through whatever comes your way. Over time, you will not only believe it, you will become it. Every morning, take a moment to remind yourself of this truth. I will move forward, even if the step is small. Progress is the quiet companion of a disciplined life. It does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Yet it is this whisper, the steady, consistent movement, that shapes your destiny more than any dramatic leap ever could. When you tell yourself this each day, you release the pressure of perfection and instead embrace the power of persistence. In life, not every day will feel productive. Not every morning will feel energized. Some days will feel heavy, slow, or overwhelming. But strength is not built on perfect days. It is built on the days when you move forward, despite the resistance inside you. Even a single, small step is enough to keep your momentum alive. That one step becomes a symbol of your promise to yourself. A promise that you will not give up, you will not stand still, you will not allow fear or doubt to freeze your spirit. Small steps matter because they accumulate. They compound, they form habits, and those habits shape your character. People often underestimate the power of small actions because they are looking for instant results. But transformation grows slowly, quietly, beneath the surface, long before the world sees it. A tree doesn't grow in one day. A river doesn't carve mountains in one sweep. Strength too is formed through gradual movement. Consistent, intentional, unstoppable. To move forward, even a little, is to refuse the weight of stagnation. It is to say, I choose growth over comfort, clarity over confusion, and discipline over delay. Every time you take a small step, you weaken the power of procrastination and strengthen the muscle of intention. Every time you choose progress, you silence the voice that tells you to quit. And every time you honor even the tiniest effort, you build trust with yourself, trust that you will show up no matter what. Some mornings, your step may be studying for 10 minutes. Other mornings, it may be exercising for 5. Some days, your step might be simply choosing patience over anger, or choosing silence instead of arguing. Progress takes many shapes, and it does not always look impressive from the outside. But what matters is movement. Movement in thought, in action, or in attitude. When you remind yourself each morning to move forward, you stop measuring yourself through the lens of other people's timelines or achievements. You begin to value your own journey, your own pace, your own evolution. You understand that slow progress is not failure. Slow progress is still progress. And what matters most, is that you are not where you were yesterday. This reminder also builds resilience. When you keep moving, even when life is difficult, you prove to yourself that challenges cannot hold you back. You show yourself that you are capable of continuing. Even when the path is steep, you realize that the strength you admire in others is the same strength you are slowly building within yourself. So every morning, say to yourself with gentle determination, I will move forward today, even if the step is small. And by the time the sun sets, you will know